Hi, hello, welcome to all my dear teacher students. This is a wonderful session. Today we are going to take a class for TET English for all the aspirants who wanted to be pass the TET exam. Before I am going to start my class, I would like to say Shrimati S.T. Boltreddy ma'am, Principal of Presidency B.Ed College, Vijaypur. And also I would like to say thank you Mr. Arjun Sagar sir, President and founder of Talent Career Academy, Vijaypur. Arjun sir is not only a person, he is a kind person, enthusiastic and also energetic person who always doing some activity, who always mingling with the students. He is always having the eagerness to solve the problems of the students. And the session today, I am going to start right now about TET English. Thank you. So, first, today, we are going to discuss about the TET English. As you know that if you open the TET question paper, you will find two English papers there. The first one, first language of English, and the next one, second language English. My dear students, try to understand who passed in English medium, they must attend the first language English. They first solve all the question of first language English. As you know that there are part 1 English. Part 1 means this is the first language English. Part 2 means this is the second language English. My dear students, you always identify that. You must be careful to open the question paper. Try to see here. In the first part, question number 1, the question begins from 1 only. 1 to 8, 8 questions on the prose section. And 9 to 15, there are 7 questions, 7 marks in the poetry section. And question number 16 to 30, there are 15 questions on the based on methodology. So totally 30 questions, 30 marks. This is only for who passed the English medium students. And right now I would like to discuss about this one because maximum 95-99% of all the students who came from other places, they will study or they have studied in Kannada medium. So who studied in Kannada medium, they have second language English. So question number 31 to 38, 8 questions we can find there, and it is questions on prose section. And 39 to 45, there are 7 questions and 7 marks you can find, and this is based on poetry section. And 46 to 60 questions means here totally 15 questions based on methodology, English methodology. Try to understand. And who have passed in Kannada medium, up to 10th Kannada medium students, they have to solve part 2, part 2nd English. So I would like to tell you all of you that in English there are 12 chapters. Try to understand. There are 12 chapters. And I sure that all the methodology, whatever is having there, it's very easy. Just you think it in your mind and you will get the answer. There is no need to study the book. If you want to study the book means you will get some new ideas. But you have a lot of ideas in your mind. Okay? So 12 chapters are there. 12 chapters, 2 chapters based on one prose, one poetry section. So, before I am going to start methodology, I would like to clarify what is prose, what is poetry. So, my dear students, the prose section means they will provide a passage. That passage, it's very lengthy and we are unable to read the passage with the concentration. Try to understand yourself. First, you have to read the passage not only once a time, you have to read twice, thrice. If you read once time, you will understand little bit. If you read second time, so you will understand better than first time. And if you read third time, so you will understand more and more information. You will get the more and more information in English story, that passage story. So, my dear students, I would like to clarify you 31 to 38 questions, whatever you can find in the question paper, 30 up to 35 questions having the direct questions. Direct question means if you read the questions, you will find the answers there only in the passage only. So what will happen? 36 question. He will 36, 37, 38. He will ask 3 questions in applied. Applied questions will be see here. He will ask the synonym of one of the words, whatever having prescribed the passage for you to read. So you have to read that. Synonym will be asked, or some antonymy will be asked. Otherwise, what you have understood, the morality he will ask, or he said that put the suitable title for that passage. That's why we are going to lose some marks here. My dear students, whenever you are going to read the passage, you have to read carefully. There is I formula is there. I. What is that? I means the first one in information, means whatever you are reading the passage, what kind of information you are getting from the passage, that is very important. Try to read it carefully. Try to understand what the passage will be giving, the morality or some message to the society. Then information. After that E, elimination. So elimination means which are unnecessary sentences are there, which are not necessary in the passage. Those sentences you must not recognize, you must not take it serious to understand. Just remove that unnecessary sentences. Next, interfere. Interfere means which are sentences very important, you have to add there. You must think yourself, you add there, and you will get the best lesson or morality or some title or message, everything. That is very important. And in poetry section, I would like to clarify you, they have prescribed for your syllabus, TET syllabus, poetry section. He may be give poetry section or may not be. Don't think that he said poetry section and in my TET exam they haven't given that poetry poem. Not like that. So first you have to understood this one prose, and then poetry section. If he wants to give poetry section, he will give. Otherwise, he will give another one prose. That's all. So then you will get 7 questions, 7 marks. From 39 question to 45. Remember this one, all of you. So totally 7 questions and 7 marks. And poetry is a little bit hard to digest the meaning of the poem, because prose section is having the sentences, but poetry is having a lot of difficult words there. So if you want to understand poetry means, you must do the regular activity, that is reading habit. Reading habit, whether you are reading newspaper, whether you are reading novels, whether you are reading stories, whatever. But you must read it continuously, because reading habit develops vocabulary. It will enrich your knowledge. It will enrich your word power. That's why you have to read it regularly. Methodology, whatever consists in 15 marks, it's very easy. Really, I am very happy to say you, all of you, if you just reading prose and poetry deeply, concentrationally and meaningfully, if you shown your interest to read something, so automatically your methodology will be adopted in yourself and you can answer easily. Really, it's very, very important. Who will have the interest to read something English, they will automatically pass. There is no need to write the methodology or read the methodology, by heart the methodology. No, it's very easy, common points. So you have TET syllabus only 12 chapters and 12th, 11th one chapter prose section, and poetry section is the 12th one. So right now we will discuss about the first lesson. So already I said that you have to give more importance to prose and poetry section. Prose is you can understand little bit about the poetry is very hard to digest it. Because John Keats or Wordsworth, whatever they have used the words, some words will not find in the dictionary only. That's why you have to read and read again and read again. How many times you will read, that much you are going to be perfect. Perfection is very important to read it clearly. That's why. So my dear students, so now I am going to discuss about the lesson, the first lesson. As you know that, my dear students, the first lesson, pedagogy of language development. Pedagogy of language development. So already I discussed this one. Try to understand. First, on prose section 8 marks and poetry section is consisting of 7 marks, and English methodology is consisting 15 marks, and use formula of IEI means here the first one information means read the passage clearly, understand it, digest the passage's meaning and title, everything. And elimination means which are not necessary in the passage sentences, so those sentences you have to remove it. And interfere I said here, third one, interfere means which are important to think in your mind, so those sentences you have to add here, interfere here, then only so you become the success to get the good number of marks in prose as well as poetry. So my dear students, once again I am going to say that you have to read prose and poetry again and again, and it will help you for not only TET but also CET. So right now I am going to discuss about the first lesson. The first lesson is very important, and maximum questions will be coming there. So you have to read it properly, understand it, and solve it all the questions. My dear students, the first one I am going to discuss the lesson. What did I say? The first chapter, that is nothing but pedagogy of language English. Pedagogy of language English. This is the first lesson for you. If I translated it in Kannada, so what will happen? Shikshana, Bhasha Abhiruddhiya Shikshana. Bhasha Abhiruddhiya Shikshana means it will develop your language. How to speak, what kind of words we have to use, and the behavior, everything will be speaking in the or expressing in the first lesson. Second lesson, before I am going to start the second lesson, I would like to say the first lesson I am going to discuss here. The first lesson, pedagogy. Pedagogy means it is an art or science of education or teaching. So my dear students, remember that. So this is an art or science of teaching, means whenever we are going to teaching, so something there is having some systematic way. Without having the proper structure, systematic way, we are going to fail to teach something, because teaching is just like a science. Science gives accuracy answer, like that only here also will be giving accuracy answers. So next one, pedagogy. Pedagogy is a word which is derived from the Greek word, that is a paidagogio. So try to understand, my dear students. Paidagogio, this is a word from the Greek. It is derived from the Greek word paidagogio. So it means to lead the child. To lead the child. See, paida Pedagogia. Pedagogia, it means to lead the child. Pedagogia, it means to lead the child. To lead the child means whenever we are teaching to the students, students must be, or pupils must be understand it. If they have something trouble in the learning, so we have to guide them. We have to give the proper direction. Then only we are going to satisfy our job. That's why. So we have to lead the child. Okay. So to lead the child means it is a Greek word pedagogio, derived from the Greek word. The word in English pedagogy. So now I would like to give some definition. Definitions are very important, my dear students. The first definition, Allen will be giving the definition. Wonderful definition. We must think about the definition, so we will get a lot of information about the definition. So first one, language is a means of communicating thoughts. Yes, very good. Language is a means communicating thoughts. Communicating thoughts means if we have a lot of ideas in our mind, then only we are expressing something that is nothing but our thoughts. So wonderful quotation said by Mr. Allen. The next one, the second quotation, Chomsky. Chomsky will be saying that language is a set of sentences. Yes, very good. Language is a set of sentences, each finite in length and constructed of a finite set of languages. See. So, language is a set of sentences. Yes, very good. We have a lot of sentences in our mind. Then only we are able to communicate with each other. Then only we are going to express our ideas. Then only we are going to share our thoughts. Otherwise, if we don't have the thoughts, means we are unable to speak anything. We are unable to express something, whatever. So, the life becomes zero. That's why, my dear students, these two questions are very important. Chomsky definition is very, very important to try to understand, because in the year of 2016, so in the CTET, Central Teachers Eligibility Test, in the year of 2016, CTET, they have asked the Chomsky's definition. They asked it like this: Chomsky's definition. So, giving dash, then they have given 4 quotation. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, try to understand. Chomsky's definition is language is a set of sentences. Remember it. Remember it. Okay. So, these two sentences, these two definitions are sufficient here. Next, there are some different types of theories. Try to understand different types of theories. What kind of theory we have to apply in our life to teach the students, to effect on students? That is very important. So we have to understand ourselves. First, we have to discuss about these theories. There is 5 theories. When I start to say something theories, you become laugh, because theories like that only. The first one, you surely tell that you will laugh that. The first one theory is bow theory. Bow theory means bow sound will be coming. Don't think that is a dog sound. So we have to just like barking a dog. No. Bow sound means it is a sound of English words. That is very important. This is bow theory, also called onomatopoeia or onomatopoeic theory. Onomatopoeic theory or onomatopoeia theory means except human beings' sounds. Apart from human beings' sounds, so other animal or other creatures' sound which are not having meaningful, those all are called onomatopoeic theory. In the creature, Especially dog is very recognizable voice because we can see here and there dogs every time all the dogs barking something for them. That's so. So Bobo theory means it is a sound. Means here, try to understand, my dear students, teachers. Whenever a teacher is speaking something in the classroom, Bobo theory means his sound must be listened to all the students. We should not less the sound or lower pitch. We should not speak there. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಧ್ವನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಬಾರದು. Whenever we are speaking in the classroom, the voice must be reach the last students also. Last student also. Try to understand. After that, Bobo theory, there is another one theory, yo hew yo theory. What is this theory? A different types of words, a different types of titles, names. Yes, my dear students, yo hew yo theory, it is means whenever the teacher participated in the classroom to teach something, so that teacher must be physically fit. Physical fit means he must be stand properly, he must be go here and there, he must be ask any other student whether he understood or not. He must be roam here and there in the classroom. Got it? That is called yo hew yo theory. The third one theory, oral gesture theory. Yes, very good. Oral gesture theory. My dear students, oral gesture theory means whenever the teacher is speaking something, if he is telling about the Shivaji story, if he is telling something other story, so his face is very important. Whenever the exclamation story dialogues coming, that time he exclaim through his gesture. Whenever sadness will be coming, sorrow or crying scene is there, he tried to cry them. That's why all the films are very effective on the people, because we can find all kinds of funny events and also crying scenes, sad events, happiness, climax, all those we can find. That's why a teacher is having the all kinds of skills. Whenever he is teaching in the classroom, he shows his facial gesture is a different way. ಸಂದರ್ಭಕ್ಕನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ, ಕಥೆಯ ಸಂದರ್ಭಕ್ಕನುಗುಣವಾಗಿ ಮುಖದ ಹಾವಭಾವಗಳನ್ನು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡುವುದು ಅತ್ಯವಶ್ಯಕ. That is very important. After that, my dear students, see, it is not only depend upon facial gesture, your voice modulation is also very important. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಏರಿಳಿತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ sometimes you have to raise your voice, sometimes you have to don't raise your voice, and sometimes you have to crying voice. You have to do the all kinds of modulation. If you want to use some other imitating voice, you can also use it, because those kinds of adapting, so it will affect on students. They want to learn something. Today I have learned something. Student must be said that I have learned something. Okay, so this is the third theory. The fourth one, glossogenetics. So my dear students, glossogenetics, this is the fourth one theory. It means language develops cause of bibliography efforts. Bibliographical efforts means here teacher must be follow some bibliography, some great books. Teacher must be read the story of Mahabharata, Ramayana, and some other novels, some other epics, because whenever the teacher is saying something, so if it related to that, so they have to express that event. It will affect. Correlative events are very effective on the students. That's why you have to teach them. After that, the last one theory, that is nothing but the sing-song theory. My dear students, here sing song theory means don't understand that singing is a theory. No, this is a completely different. Sing song theory means your spellings, your word accent or pronunciation, or your behavior. That is very important. The body language is very important in the classroom. If you stood any corner of the classroom and if you started the lesson means, is it effective on students? No, never. It will not affect on students. What will happen? All the students are very much eager to see you only rather than listen the story. You should not stand just like a statue. If I stood like this, if I started teaching, so it's not effective on students. So teacher must be have the lot of skills to roam the classroom, to wander the classroom, whether students are learning or not, or taking writing or not, notes, they are preparing notes or not. Everything he must be see there. He must be seen there. That is very important. So after that, because some students are very much eager to pronounce like you only. If you failed in pronouncing English word, so automatically the students will be laugh at you. So better you have to practice it. The practicing is very important. So if you practice it a lot, you will have the right path of perfection side. That's why if you did like this, so all the students are very much inspired about your pronunciation, your accent. Then they wanted to learn. Oh, sir will be speaking very fluently and whatever words will be pronouncing is very effective. So I too also wanted to learn. They will have that eager. Then they will follow you. So this is a fifth theory. Means total 5 theories are there. Already I discussed. The first one theory is Bobo theory. Second one theory is Yo He Yo theory. Third one is oral gesture theory. Fourth one is gasogenetics theory. And fifth one is the sing song theory. This is very important. These 5 theories are very important. Next will be coming the most important point. Nature of language means the quality of language. What kind of nature, what kind of qualities are having by the language? That we are going to study. The first one point is essential speech. See, the most important point is that the language having itself one first quality, that is nothing but essential speaking. Yes, if you need to speak something, then only you have to speak. Unnecessary you should not speak, because all the people will be identified as you are a good person or bad person through your words only. Promptly, very correctly, very dignified words, then only they will understand, oh, this sir is very good. He will give some different information. He will always speak about something new information, like that. Don't talk unnecessarily and don't use some silly words in front of students. Second point, carrier of civilization and culture. Yes, very good. This is the second point of what is that? Nature of language. The most important that Sindhu civilization, Mesopotamia civilization, if there is a civilization is there, so automatically we have to understand that there is some society, there is a society, and they spoke something. Whether they spoke English, whether they spoke something, no, we don't need that. But they spoke something there, and because they shaped their ideas there, because agriculture we can find there in that land wherever they stayed. Next, some animals also they have just taking care of them. Okay, and some other cultures, different types of dresses, different types of food we can find there. While we are reading some culture, civilization, we can understand that, and also we can learn we can also know that there is something cultures are there. They have different cultures. The third point of nature of language is nothing but it is a form of social behavior. That is very important. About the social behavior, I would like to clarify you social behavior who educated, social behavior uneducated. I would like to clarify you. Educated person, he will speak very less sound and he will speak, he used some dignified words and always he will give some information which are very necessity to the people. Uneducated person, he showed his behavior just like uncivilized person. He shouts very high in the high sound and he called and he used very vulgar words or bad words which are not good for the society, which are not good for the people, which are not good for the even his children. He spoke like that because he didn't get the education. Uneducated person. Educated people will not do like that. He speak whatever necessity to give the information. That's only. He don't want to express any more unnecessarily. After that, the fourth one point of nature of language, it is a medium of instruction. Yes, very good. This is the fourth point. Medium of instruction. Medium of instruction means this is a language. Language is a bridge to the two communicators. I am a speaker, another one is a speaker there, listener there. I wanted to speak means I have to use the language only as a medium. Then only I can understand. After that, the fifth one point, it is a structural system. Yes. My dear students, I would like to tell you that it is a structural means it's having its own right way. It's having its own correct path. It's having its own design. Okay. After that, it is an arrangement of oral and written symbols. Yes, my dear students, I would like to clarify you. A, B, C, D, whatever we are going to learn, these all are letters as well as alphabets. My father, before my father birth, his father, before his father birth, his father. All they have, if they have learned, if they have gone to the school means they have learned A, B, C, D like this only. Whatever they have learned, our grandparents, we too also learning same A, B, C, D. I don't want to say that this is a, this is a B, this is a D. Not like that. No one will identify, no one will recognize, hey, he is a foolish person. I am not able to change those all symbols. A is a symbol, B is a symbol, C is a symbol, D is a symbol. Symbol means if it is having three lines like this, it is A. Our mind, our eyes will be identified that. Then only these all are symbols. Then only we are able to speak. Otherwise, we are not going to share anything. We become just like animals. Animals having their own language. But what about human beings if they don't have any language? So, my dear students, try to understand. This is a medium of instruction. So, the next point, it is a process of thinking and speaking. Yes, my dear students. In front, if you are a speaker, you want to speak something. In front of you, there is a person, and he is a male or female, whether that person is your mother, that person is your father, sister, brother, younger, elder. You have to think it. You should not talk like that, just like animal. ಮುಂದೆ ನಿಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು. If you are asking every time money from your father, so you are unable to ask like that to your sister or some other beside of your home. No. ನಿನ್ನ ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೋ ಮೊದಲು ನೀವು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆಯವರು ಇದ್ದರೆ ನೀವು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೇಳೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ನೀವು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೈಂಡ್, then you have to speak it. That's all. Next point, it is adopts two main forms, that is oral and written. Yes, two main forms. This is very important. Two main forms. The first one is oral. Oral means speaking. The second one is written. That is the writing skill. Okay. So this is very important. The first one is oral, written. Two main forms. Two main forms are very important. If you want to express something with the valuable knowledge, you can speak or you can write it. Newspaper, whenever we are reading, so we will find some kind of information which is in the written form. Some speakers are there, very well speakers, just like Chakravarti, Surivile and some others are there. So they will speak very enthusiastically, effectively, without struggling there, because they have that much word power. If you have word power in your mind, then only you start to speak fastly. Otherwise you will stuck there. The next point, my dear students, that is nothing but it is expressing about your behavior. Already I expressed behavior is very important. Okay, so these all points are nature of language. So whenever you speak the language, you must understood yourself first, then you have to speak, because these all natures are very important. The next point, functions of language. Functions of language means a language how to work in our society, in our people. The first point, it is nothing but, see, functions. Functions of language. My dear students, this is the most important point. In this point, the first one is communication. This is very important point, communication. If you don't have communication means, then automatically you are going to lose something. So communication is very important. If you want to communicate with other person, so you must have the lot of words in your minds. You must be set of sentences in your mind, then you have to speak. First you have to think yourself, then you have to speak it. That's all. So the most important point is communication. Okay, whatever I am telling, whatever I am speaking, those words must be understood by the in front of the people. If he understood differently, means that is different class, means a different meaning. Try to speak correctly, directly. Don't speak just giving different meanings. The next point, my dear student, expressive. The point is expressive. So if you want to communication means you must be express. Express means whatever you have, the feelings in your heart, you have to be expressed there. So expressive element is second point. That is a function of language. Expression. Whether you are expressing through the facial, whether you are expressing through your words, whatever. Words are very important whenever you are expressing. My dear student teachers, the third point I am going to express here, information. That is very important. My dear student teachers, all these points are linkable. All points are linking. Because if you want to communicate means you must be communicated with your own words. If you want to communicate means you must be express. If you want to express means those expression, whatever you are going to express there, those all must be informed. Means information must be considered there. ನೀವು ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕಾಗೈತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್ ಹೊರ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ. ಹೊರ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹೆಂಗೆಂಗೋ ಭಾವನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಹೊರ ಹಾಕಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಅದು ಏನಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಮಾಹಿತಿ, ನೀವು ಮಾತನಾಡುವಂತ ವಿಷಯ ಅದು ಏನಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಉಪಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುವಂತದ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅದು ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನ ಒದಗಿಸಬೇಕು. ದೆನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಯು. The fourth point, my dear students, that is nothing but directive. Directive means giving a right direction. Direction is very important. For example, if you want to pass the TET, if you want to pass the TET means first you have to got the knowledge that is how to reach the TET level. First you have to complete your 10th level, PUC level, degree level, then you have to prepare about CET, TET, all you have to read, then you will get the admission of BEd, Bachelor of Education. Successfully if you completed means, then you are eligible, then only you are eligible to sit the TET exam. Otherwise you are not able to sit the exam whether when you completed only 10th or PUC. If you completed BA also, you are not eligible to sit the TET exam because it will not consider as BEd. That's why that must be direction, means correct direction is very important. ಸರಿಯಾದ ಮಾರ್ಗ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So next point, my dear student, that is the preservation of thoughts. Means here, my dear student, this is preservation of thoughts means briefly you have to explain here. Briefly means whatever you understood the knowledge, so it will go on. My dear students, that's why you have to understand that. The last and best point, that is the fluency. See, my dear students, fluency is very important. If you want to speak any other language, I don't want to say only English, okay? So any other language, whether you are speaking Kannada, whether you are speaking Marathi, Hindi, English, and so many other languages. So if you are speaking any language, you must have the lot of word vocabulary in your mind. Then only you are able to speak fluently. Fluently means without stucking anywhere. ನಿರರ್ಗಳವಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡೋದು. ನಿರರ್ಗಳವಾಗಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ಶಬ್ದ ಭಂಡಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊರತೆ ಇರಬಾರದು. Then only you are able to speak fluently without stucking here and there. After that, my dear teacher students, there are language components. Components means those components are very important to develop the language. So, my dear students, the next point is language components. I think you understood functions of language. The first one is communication. Without communication, you are not going to express or live in the society. Expression means whatever you have the information about in your heart, you have to express there. Information, whenever you are going to express, that expression must be having the kind of information. It must be used to the or utilized to the other person. Next point, directive. Directive point means there is a directive, means giving the direction. That is point here. Fluency means whenever you are speaking, you must be struck in the middle. You started to speak continuously without stucking there. That is called fluency. So these all are functions of language. So after that, the language components will be studying here. I think all of you are getting my point. If you have some any queries regarding this lesson or some other methods, so try to chat in the YouTube. Okay, so now it is a language of components, means components of language. That is very important. So what kind of components we can see in the language? The first and foremost thing is that spellings. That is very important. If I want to develop my language, develop means when it will develop, when we are very much eager to read the stories, novels, or newspaper, listening news in English, and so many things doing, then only automatically will be language will be developed. If you develop your language means you are able to pronunciation. That is very important. Pronunciation is very important. Your word accent, pronunciation is very important, my dear teacher students, and also spellings. That is very important, because whenever you are writing some spellings, you must be careful to write the proper letters. Okay, one of the students recently PUC result announced. So I have seen one of the students' surname, that is a Srushti Desai. See, Desai. It written like this. So our mind will be thinking that this is a Desai. But what about spelling? How to read it? This is a reading DC. So your spellings also, whenever you are filling the forms, whenever you are writing an answer, whenever you are writing some proper answer, you have to think it. Sometimes what will happen? Whole. The pronunciation having the same. But instead of this whole, if you have written this whole means the sentence meaning will be changed. Okay. So my dear students, actually this 1 hour is not satisfying, or not having the overall complete the syllabus. That's why, my dear students, the remaining syllabus will be continued in the next session if it is available. Thank you. So before I am going to conclude the language components, I would like to clarify whole language components. The first one, spellings, pronunciation, punctuation. Punctuation means full point, comma, double inverted comma, single inverted comma. These all are very essential to understand. Being as an English students, you have to be understood whether you have, where you have to give all the proper punctuations. After that, handwriting. The language teacher must be have the good handwriting. Who have the language students, they all, I suggest to all that you have to practice your handwriting. It will affect on the students. After that, vocabulary, grammar. Vocabulary is very important, as already I said in the previous class, that previous time, that is nothing but the vocabulary. Whenever you are reading more and more, you will develop your vocabulary, you will enrich your knowledge, then only it will help you to students to solve all the problems. After that, that is grammar. Grammar is very essential. If you want to speak, there is no need of grammar. If there is a atmosphere like that, if all the people are speaking English, then automatically he will learn. But whenever you are writing an answer, that time you need a grammatical structure of sentence. Then only you will get the marks. Otherwise, you will lose the marks. So better you have to practice more and more grammar. And the most important point is LSRW. My dear students, I would like to say here WRSL. I would like to clarify you, my dear students, why the language students of English will be having the lack of knowledge about English. Because, my dear students, if mother tongue is there, we are giving importance to listening. We are listening again and again, and we are speaking. Whatever listened, we will speak those all words. After listening, so we will join the school to read something. After that, we are writing when we will join in the school. So reading and writing. So when we will having the age of 5, 6, 7, then we are starting reading and writing. Before that, up to 4 or up to 5 age, so we are giving importance to listening and speaking. But why we are having the lack to learn English means because English is not mother tongue, this is the other tongue. Other tongue means other language. So automatically we will start to writing. We will give the importance to writing. A, B, C, D. We are giving importance to write the students. Then after that reading. First we will give the students to write in the 4-line book. That is A, B, C, D. We are pronouncing. Students will be listening. Then they are reading. First we are writing, reading and speaking. When it is the third point, speaking and listening. So, my dear students, so it will happen like this. If we are giving importance as mother tongue, LS means listening and speaking. So here, listening and speaking also we are giving importance means what will happen? So English is not considered as other tongue. We are speaking just like mother tongue. ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮದರ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಓದೋದನ್ನ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರೆಯೋದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಬರೆಯೋದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬರೆಯೋದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ LKG, UKG ಆರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತರ ನಾವು ಮದರ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೇಟಿವ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾತಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅನ್ನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರವಣಿಗೆ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಬರೆದ ನಂತರ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದು ಎ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಟೀಚರ್ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೇ ಆಗಿತ್ತು 4 ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಬುಕ್ ಒಳಗಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಎ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದು ಪ್ರೊನೌನ್ಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಹುಡುಗ ಅಥವಾ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಓದ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಎ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಲಿಸನ್. ನಾವು ಎ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮದರ್ ಟಂಗಿಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿವಿ LSRW ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ಗೂ ಕೂಡ LSRW ದಿಂದನೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ absolutely I am telling that it will not having any kind of distraction. We can learn very easily. So my dear students, these all are components and also having other components. Those components are nothing but a sense of paragraph. Sense means what we are speaking in front of the students, we have the sense. If I am talking about the story only tell. If I am talking about the water, then water must be told there. Speaking is different and showing is different. That is very bad. So try to understand, my dear students. So after that, paragraphs, sentences, clause, phrasal words, these all are other components. These all are other components. Components means the punctuation, pronunciation, words, vocabulary, grammar, and many things will be coming here. After that, my dear students, I would like to clarify you the other component, dialects and register. Dialects means my dear students, there are different types of students in the classroom. Means some students are eligible to speak Kannada, some are very interested to speak in English. Okay. If you are teaching English in the classroom means English is not effective when you are not using bilingual. Monolingual if you use monolingual means only using English sentences, so it will defect in the classroom. So try to give the bilingual method. Bilingual means you start to teach in English and also some new words will be coming in the class in the lesson. So those meaning of the words you have to express there. Give the Kannada meaning. give the mother tongue meaning. So it will help them. After that, my dear students, see here. So this is very important because this lesson is having lot of questions in the exam. So after that, I would like to give, so see my dear students, why I said other components, this is called dialects. My dear students, Karnataka State Board is prescribed same syllabus to each and every district, and I would like to tell you that in Bengaluru this is a different or soft language. In Hubli or in Bijapur side only, I am telling, Bijapur, Gulbarga, these all are whatever having the different, the Kannada language only they are spoken, but different words, the style of speaking is different completely, I am telling you. Okay, as you know that ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಏನು ಕಾಣ್ತೀರಾ, ಹೇಗೆ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಓ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಬರ್ತೀರಾ, ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಶಬ್ದಗಳನ್ನು ಕಾಣೋದೇ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಜಾಪುರದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇರೆ ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಥವಾ ಹುಬ್ಬಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏಕವಚನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂದೇ ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಈ ರೀತಿ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ there is some slang sentences but giving same meaning. So ನಾವು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಸೈಡ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಸೈಡ್ ಹೆಂಗದೀಪ ಮರ